Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. You ever just have a bit of news just kind of randomly drop out of the sky on you? Well, welcome to the premise of today's video. So, there was the big Nvidia keynote over at CES, and they're showing off all sorts of new technology, the 50, 70, 80, 90 cards. Bunch of words they're using I don't fully understand when it comes to like technology and how everything works. And during this, we get a little bit of a history lesson about how Nvidia started, and that was helping along with games like Virtua Fighter. Cool, that's neat. And then what happens is they just randomly show actual Virtua Fighter 6. Huh, wasn't expecting that. So of course we're going to dig into it, just so you know, technically it's not actual gameplay, but it's all in-engine. But a CES keynote is not exactly where you thought the next Virtua Fighter 6 drop was going to be. But then again, Jensen Huang, who is the founder of Nvidia, if you did see that VF Direct that was a bit ago, he basically had a big thank you, like, hey, thanks Virtua Fighter and Sega, you basically got Nvidia off the ground. So certainly a fan of the franchise. Now that said, let's get back to what was shown. So yes, out of the gate, in-engine footage, not actual gameplay. Now, just because it's not actual gameplay doesn't mean there's not a lot to be learned here, not the least of which this is RGG Studio, and all these animations, you're going to see them somewhere. RGG Studio reuses those animations. They're kind of famous for it. Maybe this is a sizzle reel to make things look extra nice, but you're going to see these animations again, for sure. So, for one, this is all in-engine, right? So, game definitely looks very pretty. RGG Studio known to make some nice looking games, and even if this quote-unquote gameplay is a little cooked up here, this obviously gives us a lot of actual gameplay hints. Not the least of which, this looks like a greater look at the stage we saw from that little teaser, so we get a more clean look at that shot. And I suppose, suspicions confirmed, this is very different than the normal kind of Virtua Fighter stage. There ain't no drop off leading to like a ring out void or giant walls on the side, right? I'm sure a lot of these shacks and all that will work as walls, but this looks like, well, a normal, if you will, fighting game stage versus the more uniquely VF look you would see in older games like VF 4 and 5. And we also have things like the UI. So now let's go back to that old leak from a little bit ago. So if you never saw this picture, this leak, definitely stirred up some stuff on the internet, right? Because, hey, first look at the game, all that kind of stuff, with an actual, in-game shot, except there was these meters you can see under the life bars. And Virtua Fighter has never been a game with meters. We don't know what these meters are. Could be stun, could be super, could be many things, but people, they kind of lost their minds. And now after this footage is dropped, well, it's very clear that this is like a screen cap or something from this exact little mini trailer that we got. Like, it's literally right from here. This is the actual exact shot. So that's one mystery solved, I guess. Someone had access to an earlier build of this mini trailer and took a screen cap. Naughty, naughty. Whatever those meters were, though, well, they're gone. So I don't know if that was in reaction to the outcry on the internet or just a newer build of the game. Who actually knows? I certainly don't. I'll just present to you the info as it is. That said, this feels like an actual UI. Like, we kind of got those esports colors going on here. So the one health bar is more green flavored. The other one is more red flavored. Very minimalist, and that is very much the VF way. Not a series like some anime fighters where you got a lot of different elements cluttering up the screen. The one potential bit of gameplay, I guess you want to call that, to harvest out of here is the actual timer. The timer starts at 30 seconds here. If you've seen me rant and rave about VF and other videos, one of the things I always tell people is, hey, it's a very aggressive game, that's why the timer is a lot shorter. Now in Virtua Fighter 4 and 5, the timer is at 45 seconds. And you rarely ever get to a timeout position even with that 45 seconds, right? Games go quick. But in older Virtua Fighter games like Virtua Fighter 1, 2, and 3, the clock started at 30 seconds. Virtua Fighter just goes fast, y'all. If you don't know, this isn't some like 99-second Street Fighter deal where you turtle with Honda and Balrog or something. It's a very fast game. So out of the gate, that actually legitimately could be one of our first gameplay hints, even if it's technically not actual gameplay. That looks like the clock might be going back to 30 seconds instead of 45. So if so, rounds in Virtua Fighter default to 3 out of 5 normally, by the way. Expect matches to go fast, fast, fast. Other things we can take from this, very small snippet is the outfits. This, once again, is in-engine footage, so these are the actual models, this is the actual stage, all that. Both characters are Akira, and neither of them are wearing Akira's all-new look that made the debut in that VF6 trailer. So potential first look at like customization or alternate outfits or something like that. His hair as well is not the usual very spiked up style, a lot more messy than normal. So these are some other hints that we can also glean out. And once again, just to reiterate, not actual gameplay, sure, but this is RGG Studio. These animations are definitely somewhere in the game. Maybe they spice it up to look a little bit nicer, but expect to see these again somewhere along the way. And that's about all I got for you right now. I just wanted to bring this up just because this is very out of the blue, to say the least. I was actually about to go to bed. I got a big travel day ahead of me tomorrow, and now instead, well, I'm making this video. If there's even a drop of Virtua Fighter news, don't worry, I got your back. Actual Virtua Fighter 6 news, it's probably going to be a good while before we get any more. Like, honestly, probably be as far as long as like Summer Game Fest or something like that. We do have that whole VF5 Revo launch to worry about later in January, which, while I got you here for a second, probably around a week-ish before the launch of Revo, I'm going to have a whole redone beginner guides, choose a main, I'll have some character-specific guides as well. The game retails for less than $20 American. There's really no excuse not to get on the VF train. I got you every step of the way, don't you worry. It's a pretty damn good time to be a VF fan right now because, well, there's actual VF things going on compared to the last couple 100,000 years where it was a little bit dry. And a little bit dry is an epidemic going on. It's not the only game where things are getting a bit dry, right? We're probably going to have to talk about Street Fighter costumes again at some point. Over a year and change without a new costume? Really? Does Capcom really not want our money that much? Traditionally, VF has always had great costume support. Like, we barely know anything about Virtua Fighter 6 at all, and we already have 3 costumes for Akira. How about that? We've already matched the output of Street Fighter 6. And we've actually already seen that Akira has his classic look as well from the VF Direct, so Akira's already on outfit 4. That's just how advanced Virtua Fighter 6 is, I guess. How could Capcom ever match up? I don't know. We'll argue that point when we get there. But anyways, yeah, Virtua Fighter, exciting times. Stay tuned to the channel. Anything that there is to know about VF, I'll have your back. I got you covered, don't worry. But for now, that is the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Virtua Fighter.
Love